Hey gang, we're here with our second video tutorial for our Quicks template. In this video I'm going to go over the administration side of the template and show you how everything is set up. So let's jump right in. As you see, we're here on the control panel of Joomla 3. Joomla 3 is moving along really good. Some of you might still be using 2.5, but I think it's a great time to start using 3. It's a lot faster and has a lot of great features. So let's go ahead and check things out here. So first, let's go ahead and let's view the site. So we can go ahead and get everything set up here. Okay, so first thing we want to do is let's go ahead and talk about the menu. This is the core Joomla menu, so let's go over and look at the menus. So we want to go to main menu. And I'm not going to go too deep into this just because you should probably be quite familiar with the menu structure of Joomla. If you're not, there's plenty of videos online to see this. So as you're seeing here, we have your parent items, home, about, pages, and then you have your sub-menus, which would be like the child items here. And these are what give you the drop down. So you would assign one of these to the parent of about, and that's going to go ahead and give you the drop down here. We'll go ahead and discuss the drop-down styling once we get to the template administrator. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and look at this. So let me just show you a few page classes here. To get certain layouts for Joomla, we assign page classes. And the page class, what it does is it adds some additional CSS styling based on the class that we put in. So let's go ahead and look at portfolio left here. Okay, so portfolio left is just a category blog. And our blog layout, we're selecting 3 articles and 8 intros, and we set it for 4 columns. And if we go over here to the page display, this is where we put the page class in. This is the left large page class, so you just put left large in here for the page class. And what that's going to do for you is that is going to give you the left large layout here, portfolio left. So as you saw, what we did was we had 3 intro articles, or featured articles, shall I say, leading articles, sorry, and then 8 intro articles. So 3 here, and columns are 4. So you see, this is only 3 columns, but these are the leading, and so we put 3 in here, and this gives us the big one here and the 2 smaller ones, and then the 4 is assigned here to the intro articles. So let's go back here to the menu now. And that's simple enough, you know, and you can go ahead and select all your other variables here. So let's close out of that. And that's how it works for the portfolio left, center, and right. You just do the featured left, featured right, featured center. Now let's look at the blog. So we'll go over here to the page and we'll see the blog. The blog, we have a little different style here. If you look at the traditional pages, the normal Joomla content, we have the image on top, your title, your category, your intro text, and your read more. For the blog, we've pushed the menu, the image to the left here. And what we've done is the image is actually going underneath here, so any image that you put in, it's going to fit in size. So you're not really constricted to the dimensions of the image as long as they're relatively the same size. And that's how we made it easy for you. But to get this look here, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go here to the blog, and you're going to want to go to the page display. And you're going to want to go blog left, region, no wrap. And that's going to give you this layout. As well, if we go over here to the pages, see, you don't really need any page class here for the normal pages. And that's really all you really need to know about the menu here. So let's go ahead and move on. Let's check out some other things here on the template, such as our menus. These side menus that we're using are all core Joomla menus, but we've styled them. So let's go ahead and check out the menu here, the side menu, home, blog, photos, archives. So we'll go ahead and click home here, and we'll see the link type. And as you see, the icons are just done with images. So you just go ahead and select your image here from your images folder and assign it to that. The link CSS style, side item 1, and that's basically going to do your colors. And the same goes for the rest of these. And that's the menu. So now let's go over and check out the modules for those. So we're going to go over here and we're going to select type, and we're going to go to the menu module. As you see, we've got modules in left, left 4, menu bar left, that's the main menu, and sidebar left. Sidebars are for the modules that are going to be in the article page on the left-hand side. So you can either put them in the left, or if you don't want them shown on the category page and just the article page, you can do it that way by putting them in the sidebar. So let's go ahead and see what classes we have here. So this is the categories menu, as you see, and we're going to go to the advanced here, and we have alternative layouts here. This is icon side, so you want to select from the Quicks template icon side, and this is the module class. We gave it a dark box. As you see here, it's got a dark wrap around it as well. Menu small bars, no pad, and that's more or less for the responsive. The menu small bars actually takes it, when it goes to the responsive level, it will go ahead and become a multi-column instead of just a row. So let's go ahead and close out of here, and remember that was for the categories, and all of this is in the documentation. I'm just going to go over this real quickly for you. So down here in the this side menu, it's the same thing here but without the icons. Left 4 menu, and as you see in the advanced here, we've got icon side, dark box, menu small, bars, margin, no pad. And let's go ahead to the menu bar left. This is your main menu module, and since this is a responsive website, you want to make sure over here in the advanced that your alternative layout is set to responsive. This is going to go ahead and hide the main menu at mobile level and make it a mobile button. And so let's go ahead and move on now. We'll take a quick look at timeline. Timeline's really easy to set up. You just install the component, and we'll go over here to the timeline module real quick for Joomla. Timeline for Joomla. As you see, we have it in the user 1 position. Going to open it up, and we're going to see the basic settings here. All authors, category, we have it set to the timeline category. The template that we're selecting is the Quicks template. You've got all these templates in here, but for this custom one, it's Quicks. Display height 700, show the intro text, yes. We don't want to show the full text, show the read more, yeah. Image type, we want to show the full text image. We don't want to show the intro image because the intro image is considerably smaller, so we want to have it full size. You can choose to show the date, show the title, navigation date, that's the navigation on the side and left and right. Navigation title, so as you see here, we don't have any title over here or a date, and you can actually show the date of the next one and the title of the next one as a preview. And so let's go over here to the advanced and see that we have a no margin, no pad on this. We have the alternative layout. We have jQuery disabled because we're actually loading jQuery within the template. Depending on what kind of third-party components you have that use jQuery, you might need to turn that on, turn the template jQuery off. If you're getting conflicts, you can do several things. You can go into the component that's calling jQuery, turn that off. It's more or less just testing out till you get the right configuration. And having said that, we load jQuery in all of our stuff in no conflict mode, so generally the problem that you'd have with loading several jQueries is maybe one is in no conflict mode. That might interfere with moo tools or whatever. So we try our best to make all of our components and extensions the best we can with the jQuery, and as far as handling other kinds of scripts. So we'll go ahead and close out of here. And we'll just take a look real quick at, say, this News Pro over here. That was the News Pro. So we go to Joomla XD Deluxe News Pro. And here, as you see, we have 4 News Pros. The right 2 is the most recent. And this is really easy to set up. You just select your category you want to pull from. We go down here. We want to have 1 column, 9 rows. And we have our template here. And this is the layout for it. If you want to alter that layout, you can either do it in the files by going to the module in the files and going to the templates and opening this template and opening the element HTML and the main. But right here we have the module HTML and the main content HTML. So for quick editing, you can just hit this edit button and it loads it all right here. So you can change this markup if you want to change any of the links, change whatever. If you want to change a style of those divs, we went ahead and we also loaded the CSS in here too. So once you do that, it's not going to pull the template anymore. The template is going to be set to not pull. So you're going to want to go back and select the template if you want to go back to the template. As well, if you go back to the template, you probably want to go over here if you've changed the CSS and remove the CSS. And as far as the rest of this goes, we go down here and we have our module class suffix, we have a transparent box, file text, and alternative layout is float. In here we have bootstrap, default, and float. For this one, float's going to work. Float and bootstrap are your obvious choices with responsive templates that use bootstrap. So let's go ahead and close out of here and let's see these feature articles that are in user 13, which are right down here. So you see we're calling multiple categories. We're doing 4 rows and 1 column. And we have featured user 13. Easy to select from all of the templates here. So you just install it, select this, and you're good to go. Let's go ahead and check out the advanced settings. Again, float, and we have a notepad. Notepad puts no padding on the module. So everything else is pretty basic here on the setup for the search. Archives is just a Joomla content module. More articles is a News Pro, works in the same way. These down here, same thing, News Pro, but let me show you one thing that we did different in News Pro on that one, is that these bottom articles, we want to go ahead and show the same articles all the time. So instead of going down here and selecting the sort field, like recently, random, Joomla order, we want to call specific articles. So all you have to do is go to the article manager, grab the ID, put which articles you want in here, and you're done. It's only going to pull those articles. Because we want to show these specific articles down here, and we want to keep them the same. So that's how you would do that. And as far as the copyright down here in the footer position, very easy. Let's go ahead and go over here to the select type, select position, footer, disclaimer footer. You can open this up right there. You can change the text, put whatever you want, or turn it off. So now let's go ahead and move over here to the template manager. And we're going to select the Quicks template. And let's go over this real quick. Mobile device detection. Number 1, the template is responsive. It does not require mobile device detection. Mobile device detection is there in case you want to call a separate template. We even have a separate mobile template, a mobile layout within the template. You can turn that on if, say, you want to not use the layout that's on the home page and use a custom layout. You're going to have to go ahead and change module positions for that and do some customization. If you know what I'm talking about here, then you might want to do that. Otherwise, everything works on mobile devices and on desktops. It's fully responsive, so you don't have to worry about turning that on. Now we have our layout settings. So here we have the grid style, default, template style, style 1. As we saw, we have 4 different styles. If you want to have a different style, you select it right here. CSS3 Effects, we're calling the CSS3 Effects CSS. Typography is default. And so here is the grid settings. And here is the main wrap width. This is the wrap. We have responsive features here. If you don't want the template to be responsive and you want it to be the same on mobile as it is on the desktop, just turn the responsive off. We have our sticky header here. You can have your header fixed or fluid width. And fixed would be it adheres here to the main wrap width. Fluid, it goes the full width of the website. Here's your main menu item spacing. Go over here, and let's say that you have more menu links here, and you want to actually take this spacing down in between each item. You can do it right here. Your menu style, you've got your suckerfish, dualfish, or none. You're going to want to use suckerfish or dualfish. Dualfish gives you 2 columns, suckerfish is 1 column drop down. None is basically if you want to install a third-party menu module, then you can install a third-party menu module and it's not going to call any of the CSS, so our CSS won't interfere with their CSS. Main menu mobile width, this is the width in pixels of the website that you want it to go ahead and turn to the mobile menu. And the region order, this is the region order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As I showed you in the first video, these are all regions, 1 through 10. And that's where you can assign in the back end if, say, you want to have this underneath this area, you would just change the region order. Separated between regions, you really don't need to worry about this. If you want everything to be tighter together, you can go ahead and change this. But remember what this is. It's kind of based on some bootstrap calculations. Now we get in the regions. The region 1 is fixed or fluid width. Again, this means that the first region there, do you want it to go full width or do you want it to adhere to the main wrap width? Then you've got your padding top and bottom, and you've got your mobile hide. So let's say you want to hide the whole region at 800 pixels. You just put 800 pixels in here, and region 1 won't show once you get there. Region 2, the same. 3 is a little different because here you have your component. You got your main padding for your top and bottom, left and right. For the region, you have your region 3 fixed or fluid. Then you have your region 3 component wrap padding, your component wrap padding left and right, and your mobile region hide. And basically the rest of these are all going to be the same. Go down to the footer. Now here's our left and right columns. So for the left and right positions, these are based on the 12 column grid of Bootstrap. So you basically have your different choices here from 1 to 12 columns. 12 columns mean it'll be full width. So if, say, in the left you have 2 columns and you have 4 columns in the right, that equals 6. So your center area is going to be 6. If you're not really familiar with a Bootstrap 12-column grid, I suggest that you go ahead and you Google up Bootstrap, go to Bootstrap, and get acquainted with the 12-column grid. And so now we'll go down here to the module. This is separated between modules vertically. This is the mobile show suffix width and the mobile hide suffix width. You can go ahead and put inside of a module in the module suffix mobile show, and it's going to be hidden until you get to this width. And as soon as you get to 900 here, the module will show. Same with mobile hide. So let's say you have some advertising in the left and you've got a little banner ad there and it's really not going to resize good for you at a mobile level. Once it goes full width, it's a very small ad and you really don't want to show it at mobile. You just put mobile hide in the suffix and it'll go ahead and hide that module. So now let's move ahead into the styling here. So let's go over style 1. Style 1, this is the body front page. What we've done here is we've given you some different solutions. So let's say you want to have a different background color or a different background image only on the home page, and on a subpage you want to have something different. So this is the front page, any subpage is this. So for this template, we have the same thing. So it's just the background color of the body background color of the body subpages. Same with mobile. Once you get to the mobile level, you can switch it up. So you've got 3 options here for those. This is the style color scheme. These are the base colors that we're using here. So when you go to the website on the home page, anything that you're seeing here that's basically pink can be changed right there. Anything that's yellow can be changed there. and these are just base colors. So once you get in there, start messing with the base colors, you can see that you can basically change the color scheme instantly just by changing the colors here in the styles. Here's the header area. In the header area, you have a wrap background color or a wrap background image. And that's going to be for the full wrap, going from the edge of the website to the edge of the website. Now the background color and the background image, that's going to be for the max width that you have the website set at. And then we have the website logo image here. Right here, you can just select and you would upload your logo to the template, templates, quicks, images, and a logo folder. As soon as you upload it there, you can go here and you can select right here and you can see your logos and select your logo. This is the logo width and the height. This is the space to give it. This does not change the image. The image is a background image. So just by changing the width here, you're not going to change the width of your logo. You need to size your logo and then you need to tell, in the parameters here, tell it what size it is. And here's your padding for the logo. And let's say you have a bigger logo and you want it to switch out at mobile level. Right here you can add it, put your settings in here, and tell it at what width you want it to swap it out. And here's the menu. This is the main menu. This is the menu wrap. This is the background color. Here's your item background color, your item hover background color, your item active background color, and here is the font colors for the color, the hover, and the active. Here's your drop down. This is the drop down outer container, the UL, and then we're going to go ahead here with the item background color, and these are for the LIs, the hover, the active, and here's your text colors. Now we get into the regions. Every region is going to have these options. So you can have your main wrap, and that is the main wrap from the left of the website to the right, full browser, full width. You can have a background color, an image, put the image in a position. Same for the region 1 background color, and that's what your max width is set at. So if you want to have something in the background of the website in that region, and then you want the main area to be a different color, you'd set it up right here. And then we have mobile width here, and this is what to do at mobile. Now we have set up some options for you. As far as images are concerned, you might want to switch your images out once you go to mobile. You might have a big image in the background, and once you go to mobile, you realize that, well, you only really need like a 600 pixel image, whereas before you had a 1920. So you can go ahead and swap the image. You can say, yes, I want to keep the backgrounds at mobile. No, I want the background to go away, or I want to swap it. And just look in the documentation for what you need to name your images. We basically have it's just mobile underscore in the same name as the image. So it just says, okay, if there's a mobile image there, let me show that one. If there isn't, don't. So that's the same for all the regions here. Region 3, we have a little bit of different thing going on here because we have the component. You want the component to be a different background color. You want the left wrap and the right wrap to have different background colors. Mobile width and background images. Same here with region 4, 5, and 6. And since I'm giving you a tutorial not of the framework and of the actual template, let me show you here. In region 2, okay, there is a gap right here. You know, Bootstrap does put gutters in, and there are gutters. So to simulate there's no gutter here, this whole inner region for the timeline and this module have a background color. So there is a gutter here, you're just not seeing it because this whole region has a background on it. And that is in region 2, and that's the background color. So let's move on. Let's go down, here's the footer wrap, same thing. Here's your basic module, and your module can have a background color. It can have a title background color. The first word color can be something, and the second word color can be something. And here's your typography color. So your body text color, your page title, article, category, all of your H styles, your global link color, the hover, active, and visited color. And that's the styles. So let's go over to CSS3 Effects. CSS3 hover effect, yes or no. And we use a hover effect in quite a few places here. If you open the CSS3Effects.css, you'll see all the classes we assign to it. And if you want to add a class to it, you can go ahead and add a class But what that does is that gives us nice hover effects. You see how this transitions? It doesn't just jump to a different color. That's just with the color fade. Same here for the menu. So if we turn that off, you're not going to get that. And you can change the effect speed and the property set to all. Responsive animation, this you can turn on if you want. And what this does is this is actually going to make things move around when you're actually resizing the browser. I'll give you a little demo of that here. Let's go ahead and resize the browser. Let me refresh the page and make sure it takes. And let's go down here to where we can see some things popping around. So we're going to go ahead and resize the browser. As we pull it in, things are going to jump, and they basically animate a lot nicer when you have that on. This template with the layout, you can kind of see it, but as you see when it pulls out, things are going to move a little. Not so apparent in this template. Some templates where you have some more columns, like 6 columns here, you'll see them move around more. It's not really needed. If you want to show your client how it's responsive, you might want to turn that on and they'll go, wow, things are moving. Component animation. This will animate the component. So the component is in region 3, so let's go here to the pages, let's go to the blog. And you know what, I just turned that on for the responsive animation. I don't think I saved it. Sorry. Let me go ahead and let's save this. Maybe that's why we weren't seeing anything really interesting. So let's go here and let's go to the home and let's go to down here again, and let's go ahead and pull it in and see if we see anything different happening with the responsive animation on. Whoa, see, there you go. So as you see, things like when you pull it out and things are gonna, they're not just gonna snap to, they're actually going to move, animate as they do that. Sorry about that. Yesterday was a very long day. I was very late to get this template out, so might be missing a few things here. So let's move on. Component animation, yes. So we're going to go ahead and you can select up, down, left, right, or fade. So we're going to say up. So let's go ahead and save it again. And let's go here to pages. Let's go to blog. And you're going to see everything slide up. Bing! Nice, huh? So everything slides in. Let's say that you want to go ahead and have everything fade in. Let's go back to the blog, watch it fade in. So some nice CSS3 styling. One thing to understand and be aware of is that unless you really want to have it, it's probably best to have it off, depending on your server and depending on who's visiting your site. You know, people might be visiting your site on a browser that can't use it, or they might not have a good bandwidth, so it might look a little bit jerky. It won't be as smooth as if you have a really high, fast speed internet connection, which I believe a lot of us do that build things on the net. We want to have fast speed, so that's your call on that one, but we have put it in there. It can look pretty nice, and like I said, it can wow your client in a lot of aspects if you're building sites for clients. Here's your basic typography settings. You've got your text direction, your global font size. Here's your font families. We're using font face here, as you can see. Your main menu font size, your drop downs, basically all your fonts and all of your pixel sizes are right there. Advanced settings. Here in the advanced settings, you have your CSS mode. You can go ahead and load all the CSS because there's several CSS files. We have a default file, we have a grid file, we have a style file, we have a typography file. So you can load them separately, speed things up, load them in a single file, or head embedding. You might want to check with your server and see how these things are going to run when you do it. CSS compression. You can compress the CSS. That might make your site faster. Here's the front page components. As we showed you on the home page, we're not showing the component. And we want to hide the component because if we had the component on and we didn't have any featured articles right in here, then there'd be a bigger gap because the component would just be sitting there doing nothing. So we went ahead and on the home page, none. You can select all or from any component you want. Here's the include jQuery. As you saw, I went ahead and in the timeline module, I turned off the jQuery there because there was some conflicts going on. jQuery was being called twice in certain locations. So I'm just calling it in the template once, and I turned off the jQuery in other things. And that basically concludes this. I will give you one word of advice here. When you're building your site, we do include a template.css folder inside of the CSS. If you're working in the CSS and you want to change things in the CSS, I highly suggest copying it out of the CSS file that you're working in and putting it as an override in template CSS. Template CSS was left empty for you to go ahead and put your overrides in. And what this is going to do for you is, let's say in a month from now, we do some major updates to this, and you want to go ahead and update your site. But we change a lot of the CSS in it, or we did some change here, there, or wherever, and you don't want to mess up your style of your website because you've tinkered in the CSS, and you can't just upload the new version because that might overwrite your styles. So basically, if you put everything in the template CSS, you have it all in one place. All you have to do is, before you install a newer version, you download that template CSS file. You upload our newer version, it's going to put an empty template CSS, you overwrite that, and all of your changes are saved. I hope you enjoyed this template as much as we enjoyed making it, and we'll see you soon.